the first chapter of Zipman is out. Now we're on to the second one. And there's always a different feeling for chapter ones of things, because chapter one, it's always going to have just that nice new feeling of a brand new series. It's like trying a new food, or trying just in general anything of a hobby that's new. You play a video game, a new character, or something, new map, or it's always going to be different the first time you try it, but then it's like, okay, well, what happens the second time around? With that whole like big shiny fresh label, is it going to kind of mask anything that you how you actually feel about something, or is it going to hold up and like afterwards, I kind of like this. So chapter 2 of Zipman, we like Zipman, I don't know why I'm saying Zipman, Zipman, it actually was pretty good. I liked it. It was more of a character chapter rather than, getting out more of, oh, we're just going to display more of the characters as, powers, or really build a lot of the plot. There was some plot stuff built. I think it was more towards the tone of how Kaname acts, and how much he just the way that he has his relationship with his brother, and the way it's going to affect his goals and existence in the series. There was a part about the plot that I saw coming, and well, I can't even say I saw it coming. I thought I just figured out the basics behind it in some aspects. One of it is when he's explaining what happened to his body. It's the fact that now the main character Kaname's like genius brother Koshiro, pretty sure I kept thinking of Kyoshiro, but just Koshiro. At some point he was attacked by this robot suit, and it pretty much it opened up the way that it does with the zipper, like latched onto him and like absorbed his consciousness, so his brain was straight like transferred over into the suit that Koshiro's in. I figured it was going to be more of like something happened, he was dying, and it was some way to preserve like his brain, to transfer it into one of his machines. But this looks like something of the enemy. And in the first chapter, you can see the number on his chest for the suit. And in this one, contrary to the first chapter, the big robot in the first chapter just seemed like a big robot, and it seemed anything special. But if you look at Zipman, he's got a number on his chest. I'm guessing something that has to do with the model number. And the bad guy in this chapter, in chapter 2, it has a number on its chest. I think it's 028, so 28th in line. That makes me kind of wonder like what the villain group is going to be like in this, because clearly it has to do with these machines, has to do with these suits. The main character is suit number 1, so it looks like it's, I would imagine with 3 numbers, it's up to 999. So, what exactly does that indicate? Also, their origins, because the suit of the main character, it looks like the Jackman character from the cartoon show. Well, would it be cartoons in this world? I guess it'd be more of like live action, kind of like Power Rangers or something, Sentai. But the fictional superhero show that he grew up on, and so is seemingly this bad guy in chapter 2. What is it, Cutie Charm? It looks like some big girl robot suit. But throughout the chapter, it's explained essentially some of the stuff going on. Like I said, Koshiro was attacked. He had his brain absorbed into this machine, and he doesn't want anyone to know that he's technically still alive. He doesn't want his mom to know. He doesn't want China to know. He wants to keep them out of it until he can figure out what's going on, which I can understand, because you don't want to get them involved. You don't want to get their hopes up. And this versus, just letting them kind of think he's dead, mourn and grieve. And then eventually, if he's able to get his brain back into his body, explain the situation. People probably be pretty pissed off at him, but they'd be more happy at the end of the day that he's alive. But so the characters though, Kaname, I like his character right now. And we're only 2 chapters in, so it's kind of hard to figure out. I was discussing the chapter 1 with one of my friends, and the thing is, I think there's an indication that you would kind of get like that Kaname's, he's the dumb main character. His brother's obviously a genius. I don't think Kaname comes off as, more of a blockhead. Looking at something like, a lot of other current, like, shiny new main characters, just in the ones that, you can kind of look at, like, obviously ones like Deku. Deku's smart, he's analytical, he's not like a genius, but he's fairly intelligent. He's someone like Asta in Black Clover. Asta's kind of an idiot, he's not very smart. And then someone like Yuji in Jujutsu Kaisen. He's kind of like normal. I'd call him fairly normal. I mean, obviously he's he's a big physical dude, but I don't think he's ever come off as stupid. And then you have someone like Denji from Chainsaw Man. I don't think he's dumb. I've said it before, I think he's just uneducated. I don't think he never had a chance to really learn and see if he's smart or not. But Kaname just seems normal. He's obviously, physically fit because he's constantly like working to try and be in this TV show as this acting position. He wants to be a very superhero on a television show. He wants to be fit. He wants to be able to do some stunts and whatnot, which I like. But intelligence, he just seems normal, and he's just always trying to compete and keep up with his his genius brother. But the character, what I thought was really cool about this chapter was the interactions with his brother, because similar to Black Clover, one of the things I really like about the rivalry between Asta and Yuno is they act like brothers a lot of the time, and there's that brotherly bickering. Anybody who's got a brother knows what I mean. There's just a different kind of in a completely different tone when you're talking to your brother versus like a best friend or something. There's just a different kind of vibe to it, and that's what I like about Asta and Yuno, and that's what so far I like about Kaname and Koshiro. I like that kind of brotherly spats and bickering between them. But it looks like he doesn't really want Kaname involved. He wants to kind of like keep him out, but use him as he needs to. Be willing to pay him for his services. For the most part, he doesn't want him to be involved in this. But there was a nice little comment from one of the people that works for him when she's saying how he actually always talks about his brother. So again, he has, he's got his own kind of, things about how he feels his brother, and he still likes him. Obviously, he's his twin brother. He's not actually going to dislike him the way he seems like he does. That's just the way he talks to him. But he probably, just like his mother, just like his friend Chino, he doesn't want to get his brother involved in this. It's very dangerous. And he only did it at the first place because he pretty much had to. And Kaname seems to not really... He's not going to obviously react too well to his brother kind of, kicking him out like this and not wanting to have him like caught up on everything. But the thing about it that I think is going to be kind of like an indicator of the character is the way that he ended up kind of going about this. And it's the fact that even though his brothers didn't want him involved, he didn't want him to really put them in this position, Kaname was just, he's not going to let that be a thing. He wants to be a hero regardless of what anyone is going to, if they're going to pretty much let him, or if he's got to force his way to do it. Because something contrary to like My Hero Academia is Deku wants to be the number one hero as his idol, and in a world of heroes where being a hero it's a job. And so far in Zipman, Kaname is going to be the first hero, because like the character that he gets the suit on and like he's supposed to be kind of like representing is somebody from a television show in their world. The superheroes and stuff don't exist at this point. He's the first of it, and all these robots and stuff are just starting to really kind of go out, and so he's going to have to be like the face of pretty much every single character in the group that's going to have one of these suits in the future, because that in the next couple chapters we'll probably get a second kind of good guy character with the suit. They'll have a team eventually, but Kaname is going to be really the first of the public. Even if there's people who's had the suits longer, he's the first one that really was out and is the face of them. Plus he also is straight like built in his suit, similar to a popular character that a lot of people know from a TV show. I mean, he pretty much forces his brother's hand when he jumps off of a building, trying to forcing him to let him get the suit on and get into the Jackman form. And I'm wondering about that. Just the name is Jackman. He's going to be the name that he goes with, and Zipman is going to be what any of these characters that put on these, zipper power-up suits are going to be called. I think that'd be cool. I like that idea, because then it wouldn't just be kind of like set at the main character. It's more of the group. It's more of anybody who holds this title. But other than that, pretty solid first chapter. Again, I like the back and forth between the main character and his brother. I like the kind of like way he's forcing his brother's hand to let him be a part of this, to let him be involved in this entire like crazy situation with all these robot suits and like bad guys coming after him. Again, I'm guessing it's maybe like a rivalry, like an enemy, like robotics group, or some people that want to steal his technology or something. We'll probably find out, at least somewhat about the bad guys the next couple chapters. But until the next one, I really appreciate thumbs up the video, from the like button and subscribe button, and check out my other videos. I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed. I thank you all for listening. Bye.